All right, well, I've got Phuti Mahanyele in studio with me now. She is the Chief Executive Officer for the Shanduka Group Pty Limited. She joined Shanduka in 2004 as the MD of Shanduka Energy and has since moved through all of the divisions of the group. And she has studied and worked in different parts of the world and is involved in a number of youth development issues. Welcome to Morning Live. It's so good to have you here visiting us on the program.
Thank you.
Is there a need to be worried about the declining number of women in leadership positions in South Africa?
I think there certainly is. I think when you look at the complexity of issues that are facing us just in the world, not just South Africa, you look at issues of unemployment, it's not something that's unique to South Africa, it's happening in Spain, it's happening all over Europe. I think given the complexity of those issues that we're facing, we need to be tapping into the whole talent base that we have. So if we are saying that women make up 43.9% of the workforce, and yet when you look at the leadership positions, you look at the CEOs of listed companies, they only make up 3.6%.
Yeah.
You know, that tells you that something is not quite right.
Yeah.
We're clearly not tapping into the whole talent base that we have in the country.
Yeah, let's talk about what is not right. I mean, is the talent there? Are the qualifications there?
Yeah.
That's the first step. Do you see it?
Absolutely. I think certainly when you look at the statistics with respect to people that are graduating from tertiary institutions, women make up a significant portion of that. So the pool of educated women is there, and they do come into the workforce, but when you start looking at the leadership positions, you see that they come up to middle management, and beyond that, the representation just virtually is non-existent.
Yeah.
We have organizations in the country today on the list, on the JSE, which have absolutely no representation of women on executive management or on their boards. I mean, to me, it's ridiculous that in this 21st century, there are companies that actually have no women at all in their leadership structures.
Are there reasons given? I mean, you are an example of somebody who has managed to break through that barrier, because it almost is like crashing through a barrier, like one of the greatest achievements of all time. But you know, if you have the ability, we have the talent, it shouldn't be that way. It should just be a normal progression. Why do you think women are just not getting there? What's the problem?
I think a part of it is also socialization. I think, you know, when you think about how young girls and young boys are brought up, I think, you know, in society we're still not socializing women to go into leadership positions. That's the first thing. So I think as mothers, that's the first thing that, you know, that needs to be happening. The second thing is that when young women in their, say, mid to late 20s, when they get married and all of that and start to take on more responsibilities, they're not having all of the support that they need to manage both the home as well as the work. And that's when you start to see the disparities. And one of the things, I've seen some statistics that have been done looking at the income gap between men and women. And it's been found that when women go away on maternity leave and they come back again, let's say maybe if they take a bit longer, let's say a year or two, they never do catch up to their male counterparts, you know, and that shouldn't be there. We ought to be creating the flexibility for women to be able to play their roles in their homes, but also to be able to contribute to society as well.
Absolutely, and also find ways to allow women to thrive in environments like this. You don't necessarily need to be sitting at a desk in order to be productive.
Absolutely.
You know, if you need to be with your kids, you can do that, but you can still be as good as anybody else.
Absolutely.
I know, it's a long argument, it's a huge conversation which we have to get you back to come and talk about, but I got to read the news to everyone now. Phuti Mahanyele, who's the CEO of the Shanduka Group, thank you for being our guest here on Morning Live.
Thank you.
All right, now the time is 3 minutes before the top of the hour. We're going to be giving you some weather and then the news at the top of the hour. Here's Andile.